Hello, good day everyone. My name is Anita Rizky. I'm from a Master of Sustainability Science Study Program, University Malaya 2024. And on this occasion for research methodology class, I will present 3 quantitative research papers related to my topics. So my topic is Construction Net Zero Roadmap, Sectoral Contribution to Achieve Net Zero Emission by 2050. As stated in Paris Agreement, we need to limit the temperature increase to 2 degrees Celsius. So to do so, every company, every sector have to, including construction, have to contributing to reducing their carbon emission. And to do so, they have to outline in their roadmap toward net zero emission target by 2050. So for this presentation, there will be 3 qualitative research papers related to the topic, paper 1, paper 2, and also paper 3. Paper 1 title is Framework for the UK Construction Industry Transition to Net Zero Design, Delphi Techniques and Structural Equation Model Approach. So the objective of this paper, the first one is to propose framework that supports the UK construction industry in transitioning to achieve a net zero design based on these 3 net zero design components. They are net zero energy, net zero carbon, and net zero water. And this article also aims to prove and validate that innovation, construction project administration, and organizational culture are influence the construction industry's transition to achieve net zero targets. So the main focus this paper is net zero design. The methodology used in this paper is mixed method, which is combination between qualitative and quantitative. As we can see at the figure 2, the red one is qualitative methodology, conducted by questionnaire survey and Delphi techniques to 200 construction stakeholders respondent for data collection. And after the data collected, the data will be analyzed and examined by using quantitative methodology with structural equation modeling or SEM. The model used in this article, there are 2, Delphi model, which is qualitative, and also structural equation model, which is quantitative. But the Delphi model will not be discussed further because this presentation only focuses on quantitative methods only. This is the structural equation model used in paper 1. We have the independent variable, innovation, construction project administration, and organizational culture. And each of the independent variable has a secondary independent variable, and we have a one dependent variable, which is net zero design. And net zero design have secondary, and we have secondary dependent variable. They are NZT1, net zero design for energy, NZT2, net zero design for carbon, and NZT3, net zero design for water. This is the data analysis and finding from paper 1. As we can see from this figure 6 and table 7, all of the independent variable, or 3 out of 3, have significant effect on dependent variable or net zero design, with this following order from strongest to weakest. The first one is organizational culture, and followed by construction project administration, and followed by innovation. And also based on the model, the relationship between primary dependent variable or net zero design and the secondary dependent variable in the following order from strongest to weakest. NZT2, carbon, NZT1, energy, and then NZT3, water. Paper 2. Paper 2 title is Construction, Contractors, Carbon Emission Reduction Intention, a study based on structural equation model. The objective of this paper are first to analyze the factors influencing construction contractors carbon emission reduction intention, or CERI or SERI. These are the factors. There are 6 of them: government regulation, subjective norms, personal norms, behavioral attitude, policy support, and perceived behavioral control. And the author want to testing and validate the hypothesis of relationship between those various factors to CERI, or carbon emission reduction intention. So the main focus are carbon emission reduction intention, or CERI, or SERI. As we can see in the figure 1, there are 9 hypotheses. Methodology. The methodology used in paper 2 is quantitative methodology with 4 steps, as we can see like this. The first one, they do literature review and theoretical basis. Which the theory used in this paper is theory of planet behavior, and from that theory, they make a hypothesis. We can see at the figure 1 earlier. They make 9 hypotheses, and after hypothesis, they conduct the questionnaire and data collection. There are 400 questionnaires and only 311 valid questionnaires. And those data or valid questionnaire will be testing with structural equation modeling, or SEM. There will be 2 SEM modeling in this paper. The first SEM modeling from this paper, we can see at the figure 2. There are 6 independent variables: government regulation, subjective norms, personal norms, behavioral attitude, policy support, and perceived behavioral control. And from this independent variable, each has secondary independent variable, as we can see from the figure. And we have a primary dependent variable, which is SERI or CERI, and also secondary dependent variable. There are SERI 1, SERI 2, SERI 3, and also SERI 4. And after that, the author want to test the robustness from the model. So with the same primary independent variable, the same secondary independent variable, the same dependent variable, the same secondary dependent variable, they add external variable or control variable. Those control variable are 3. YWE, or year of work experience, and CP, corporate position, and also TE, or type of enterprises. And the conclusion from this test are: the initial model are robust and not heavily dependent on specific conditions or assumptions. This is the analysis and findings from paper 2. So from the 9 hypotheses they have from the beginning, the 7 of 9 hypotheses are validated or supported, and the 2 are not supported. and the findings are the relationship between behavioral attitude, or BA, and personal norms, or PN, and carbon emission reduction intention, or CERI, were not found to be significant. So they are not supported the hypothesis. Some hypotheses were right, and some other are not. So this is the last paper, the paper 3. The objective, the title is driving factors in carbon emission reduction in prefabricated building supply chains based on structural equation modeling. So the objective of this paper are first to identify and analyze the relation of these 5 driving factors: GD, MD, government driven, market driven, economic driven, technology driven and supply chain coordination driven. 2 CEPBSCs, or carbon emission reduction in prefabricated building supply chains. And also, this article wants to provide strategies to CEPBSCs. The main focus for this paper is carbon emission reduction in prefabricated building supply chains, CEPBSCs. This paper using quantitative method, so the methodology used involves literature review. We can see at the figure 2. Literature review, and then they do for model literature review for model assumption, and they do questionnaire for data collection. And after that data collected, there will be tested the data with a structural equation model, or SEM. This is the model used, the structural equation model, SEM. We have 5 independent variables: government-driven, market-driven, economic-driven, technology-driven, and also supply chain coordination-driven. And each of the independent variable, they have a secondary independent variable, and also dependent variable. We have one, which is the CEPBSCs, and we have a secondary dependent variable. And this is the data analysis findings from paper 3. The first is all or 5 out of 5 hypotheses were validated or supported. The hypothesis has all hypotheses has significant positive effect on CEPBSCs, and the result of hypothesis testing in the article from order from highest to lowest impact based on the standardized factor loadings are as follow. We can see the value. We can see the value from the table 7. The standardized factor loadings. The highest hypothesis have impact on the dependent variable are hypothesis 4, technology driven, followed by economic driven, market driven, government driven, and the last is supply chain coordination driven. And the last finding is technology driven has the highest positive correlation to CEPBSCs, meaning the higher the technology driven increase, the higher the CEPBSCs will be. And the conclusion for this paper related to my topic are for do the construction net zero roadmap, we have internal factors and also external factors. For internal factors, we have organization that these factors have to be have a significant role to make this roadmap. From the internal, there are organizational culture, construction project administration, and also innovation. There are personal norms and perceived behavioral control. And also from the external, there are government regulation and also policy support and subjective norms that have significant impact to this roadmap. And driven from external to internal, the most significant that bring the most significant impact are technology driven, economic driven, market driven, and government driven, and also supply chain coordination driven. So from these 3 papers, this will help me to understand what point or what are the factors from internal and also factors from external, and also driven from external to internal that will contribute or give impact to how we make the roadmap. Okay. So that's all my presentation. Thank you.